Well then, same old story as Tuesday, but Ipswich actually looked better, but it's still another loss, down to 10th. It's not looking good anymore, is it?
No, it's not good. Yeah, we were better today, but still, we lose the game. I think I predicted we were going to lose today, but it's just, I feel like our passing was a bit better today, but there still wasn't enough movement. I think we have like 4 midfielders on the pitch. I know some of them playing out wide. I think we played kind of a 4-3-3 today, but there was sloppy passing at times. There wasn't enough movement, and we had no attacking threat whatsoever. So even though we were better, it was still not great. So yeah, it's not looking good for us.
No, I felt there was no urgency today at all. So there's no desire to kind of go, oh, we might win the ball back. And then Norris then got booked for arguing the referee. But the referee today I thought was quite appalling, really.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to blame that on the ref, obviously, because we weren't good enough. But yeah, it's not good to see. We're down to 10th now. Obviously, playoffs are gone. So we just need to ride out the season now. I don't know if it's now planning for next, which is a bit depressing.
But yeah, no, but also substitutions as well. Weird substitutions, and just they didn't work. I don't know why he brought Sears off, because I thought Sears actually looked like the only threat we had. Yeah. Perfectly honest, out the whole game. Yeah, and I don't really like us playing one up front. We've seen so many times that it doesn't work, whether it's with Sears, with Keane, or whoever. So I wouldn't have brought Sears off at that point. I would have brought probably Bishop off, because I know he can create, but he did look a bit shattered on the pitch today. He did come off eventually, but yeah, that was a strange substitution. I thought we could have gone 2 up top at some point in the game, but you know, that's how it goes, and we have no attacking threat again.
I expected nothing, I got nothing. A variety of people around me are going, oh, we didn't play too badly. I fundamentally disagree. It wasn't as bad as Fleetwood, which is about as good as you can say. You can repeat yourself, can't you? And you can pick out individuals who played okay. And I'm a huge critic of Edwards at right back, and I don't understand why he's playing right back when Donasian played okay with no outlet on Tuesday night. Suddenly he's not even on the bench. But say the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again. You can play pretty football across the middle. Coventry caught us on the break, scored a good goal. There you go. Chambers really, really, really pissed off with it, and you can see his frustration. You can see his back and things. Coventry then just sat, soaked us up, tried to catch the break. They didn't need to do anything more. They were professional. We had no ideas. Was there a shot in the second half? I don't think there was a single shot. It's not the fact that they were going just wide or just over, or they were being blocked. We didn't have a shot. Paul Simpson comes on for Sears. Why? And he's battling for balls backwards and forwards. He's drifting in deep. The same thing. You've got nothing. Dazelle opens things up, and you've got Judge not necessarily going for a picnic this time, but he's wandering all over the place, having a sort of saunter in the hills. He hasn't got the pace. You're at home. You need desperately a win. Now, I think the playoffs have been pissed. They've gone. But if you don't win this, there's no chance. And so you've got 1 up. You've got Morris on the bench. If Sears is knackered, and I didn't see that, I saw it with Bishop, but I didn't see it with Sears. But if Sears is knackered and needs to go off, put Morris on. You play 2 up. There's no way that 1 up was working there. We didn't test the keeper once. We had 2 in the first half. 1, that abysmal header from the waste of space that is Nolan, and 1 which went straight into the arms of the keeper. So you got 2 chances in the entire game, both pissed against the wall. The formation, the tactics, yet again completely wrong. You're chasing a game. You're 1-0 down at home, you're chasing a game, and you have 1 18-year-old striker up front. You've got Judge, who's given how many assists in the 400 games that he's played, wherever he happens to fancy playing, and you don't do anything about it. It didn't look any better later on, and at the end, I mean, we're sort of humping balls, hopefully, hoping that somebody will run onto it. There's nothing there. I'm going to say the same thing in the next home game. I'll say the next thing a home game. Shrewsbury away, I'll say the same thing to you. he hasn't got a clue. He's not getting the best out of the squad. Lambert needs to go, and I'm bored of saying it.
Nigel back again. Very soon after the Tuesday match. Can't say I was particularly enthused about covering this afternoon, but we did get a better performance overall from Town today. They did try and get the ball down and pass, but as always, quite clear we cannot get the end product and the ball in the net. Lack of creativity again, and our lack of strikers was really telling this afternoon as well. I thought we did progress well during the first half, and we're getting a lot better as we went forward. And certainly keeping the ball on the ground, which we had to do today with Sears up front. And you know, if we'd have tried to hoof the ball up, you know, clearly we weren't going to get anywhere with that. So second half we came out. Obviously we were 1-0 down by that point. I thought their goal was a good goal, and actually showed that actually passing the ball through the middle sometimes is a better way to go. I think one of our big problems is we are always trying to get it out to the wing, particularly to the right side. And although I thought Edwards had a very good game today, I was impressed with him. You know, we don't try other options sometimes. We're just trying to get it into the midfield, someone to turn and look and try and move forward a bit, and pass it through will sometimes get you that chance, and it just mixes things up a little bit more, and I don't think we do enough of that as a team. Again, some pretty poor officials this afternoon. I mean, you can't blame that for the result. But you know, there was potentially a penalty shout there. There were quite a lot of fouls going in that we didn't get decisions on as well. You know, the standard of the officials in this league is shocking. And the worst thing is we're looking to potentially have another season of that as well. Really tricky. I mean, we're now just seeing out the rest of this season, and as I've said a number of times, we need to really get a good style of play. You know, we start to sometimes look like we've got there with it, but then, you know, the formation changes again, and I know we were forced into a few player changes in the last couple of matches, but we do need to really start looking at having a settled squad and a settled formation as well. I thought 4-3-3 was pretty good. I think that can work well for us, but we need to start getting a bit of consistency, and perhaps we just need to use these last few games to try and look ahead to next season and try and get a bit of stability in that team. Maybe get a few more of these youngsters in. Although I have to say, poor old Tyree Simpson, I do have sympathy for him. He's very young, and I think he probably will benefit from a spell out on loan. He's a bit off the pace in terms of his positional play and what's going to happen next, and I think, you know, he will get there probably, but I think a season out on loan somewhere would probably do him the world of good, and it'd be really interesting to see him after playing regularly in a team, probably in Division 2, I would have thought, to just get that experience. So not many matches left to go now. Interesting times ahead, as I'm sure there'll be news on season tickets coming out in the next few weeks. It's not that far away now, and what the club plans to do there to try and sell it to the supporters. My own personal view is I think they need to drop the prices again. I think, you know, if they do that to try and get more people in, you know, people will spend money in the shop and, you know, buy food and things, and it creates a better atmosphere in the club. We don't really want to be getting crowds dropping down to sort of 12,000 and you know, and things like that. We need to create a bit of atmosphere in the ground. Okay, so come on you Blues, and on to the next one.
Not a lot to say really. Much better than Tuesday, but then you can't really say anything could get much worse than that. I think today there was effort. There was a lot more intensity, and the players looked like they were trying to put a shift in, but it comes down to the ultimate end goal, which is not good enough. No quality. Could have played all day. Didn't look like scoring. I think I can't blame it on one man, but I think Caden Jackson is probably looking at himself and thinking, what did I do against Oxford? I don't think he would have changed much in these last few games, but that's games without strikers, and Jackson put himself in that position by giving away a ridiculous red card with seconds to go against Oxford. But overall, there's not a lot else you can say. League One's going to be the team, the league, should I say, next season. But I think if Town are going to start looking to try and progress, then there's a lot of work that needs doing on that squad. And frankly, I think most of the Hurst signings need shifting out and getting rid of for permanently. This might be controversial, but I've never seen the actual relevance of Chambers apart from being a leader, and frankly I think if he isn't punted in the summer, then I don't think the club are going to go very far anyway. I think defensively he is a liability, and then his legs have gone. We saw that on Tuesday. Didn't do anything wrong today, but I just don't think at 34 years of age, as well as Scouse, I just don't think that Town, they need the youth. They need to look fresh and just get rid of the deadwood really, and try and refresh everything. But of course, with the lack of game time for some of these youngsters like Dobra, like Dazelle, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they absolutely don't sign a new contract and decide to go elsewhere, which would then leave Town even more in the, well, I'm not going to swear, but apathy really.
As I show you this shirt, I ask you one question. What does it represent to you? Because to me, it represents the last time this club truly had greatness here. I mean, like, that's 19, 20 bloody years ago now, isn't it? And since then, this club has been on a rapid decline. Massively. At the moment now, we are a shambles. Bottom to top. Players, not good enough. Manager, tactically inept. He needs to go. Bringing Norris back in today, yeah, decent game. But what's Holy done? He's done nothing worse than what Norris has done this season. He didn't deserve to be dropped. Is that because he's like now played his 20 games and now we don't have to play him anymore, so we haven't got to play Wolves? I don't know. Why play Norris? Don't get it. He's bugger off. The changes is what in Judge. It's nothing. I wouldn't be bothered if he left in the summer, to be honest. In hindsight, I wouldn't have been bothered if he left last summer, because he offers nothing. What has he done for us? 5, 6 good games for us, and then nothing since, has he? He goes, like David said, you know, if he plays on the right, he then end up with a picnic on the left side. You know, on the left side. I thought it was a great line on Tuesday night, so I had to quote it in a way. But yeah, Nolan today, yeah, that threw on goal, and then he decides to head it. Admittedly, yeah, the goalkeeper kind of done him in a way, because he sort of was coming forward to him and then stopped and then went back. So, to be fair to Nolan, in a way, he did get done. But at the same time, you don't get one-on-one with a goalkeeper and then just head it. At least have a decent shot, crack on goal. You know, that could have been 1-1. And I don't understand what happened there. It's like Nolan, Toto, Jackson. What was that? 2.5 million allegedly. Norwich got Pookie on a free. What's wrong with our scouting system? Norwich are getting players like that, and we're just getting rubbish. Basically, we're spending money, and there's no wonder everyone wants to spend money now. Like, what happens when we do? We buy crap, basically, don't we? Because Toto, Nolan have done nothing for us. Jackson, admittedly, has been better, but he doesn't really have. He's not really that great, is he? I mean, this is his level. To be honest, I know he jumped up 2 leagues. To be fair to him, but that's not good enough. I don't understand why Simpson, Dobra didn't get to start today. I don't understand why we're not giving him a chance now, because the season's done. I sent a tweet out this morning, like, Bishop, Dazal, Dobra, Simpson, start building around him, especially with Jackson and Norwood out. Build for next season. Just do something like that, because show some positives, because the way today started, we played alright, but there's just no end product. We've been saying that for months now. There's just no end product at all, and it's the same thing week in, week out. I come on game day each week, and it's the same thing. I don't understand why he just didn't start something different. Bring on the youngsters, give them a go, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, fair enough. We've got nothing to lose now, and unfortunately, I don't know. It's frustrating, annoying. We're fed up with how this club has got now. To be honest, really fed up. Something's got to change. I know there's this five protest plan can't remember what it's called now. What's it called? Five protest plan, whatever it's called. I can't remember now. It's something like that. You know, I don't blame them for the plans to start like that now, because it has my backing. Because we need to start showing our frustrations, because there's only so much that can happen, and it's just getting worse and worse. Fair play to Coventry, top of the league. Didn't look that great today, to be fair to them, but I went to Birmingham in December, and they're a decent team. They deserve where they wanted to be. Got no beef with Coventry. They've had it rubbish, haven't they? We sort of moaned about Evans, which for me it's not his fault this season, but at the same time it's all on Lambert. But at the same time, you look at Coventry, no ground. They've had rubbish owners. They've gone down to League Two, and they're back on the rise, and fair play to them. I hope they go up and do well. Well done for coming here, beating us. I thought we'd get thrashed, on us, but their performance reminded me of us early on in the season when we were going away from home. You know, we'd go 1-0 up, and then that's that. You know, we weren't playing great, but you needed to do it, and that's what they've done today. And fair play to them. Hope they go up. Hope they've got my backing. But for us, it's another season in this rubbish league. Something needs to change. I don't know what exactly, but yeah. So exactly. Look, last time we were great.